When Canelo Alvarez was asked if he respected Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., his response shocked everyone. The redhead stated that Chavez Jr. was a disgrace to the tricolor and that he had mismanaged his career. For these reasons, among others, Canelo expressed the necessity of not feeling respect for someone who, in terms of discipline, has achieved nothing. In 2017, Canelo Alvarez was at one of the peak moments of his career, adding to a streak of victories fight after fight. His power prevailed over British boxers, proving that his punching strength was remarkable, even across oceans. But in his mind, there was another fight that kept him up at night. Canelo longed for the chance to step into the ring to face Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Although he was the son of the boxing Caesar, the legendary Mexican boxer Julio Cesar Chavez, Chavez Jr. had to use the strength of his fists to make his way in a sport where family history cannot serve as a springboard to glory or respect. Thus, on May 5th, a duel was celebrated between the natural heir to the tricolor throne and the man who had won the admiration of the international community, establishing himself as the new face of Aztec boxing. At that point in his career, Chavez Jr. had not shown even a quarter of what his father had done. Still, his record showed 50 wins, 32 of them by knockout, and only 2 prior losses. However, it was widely noted that these were victories over lower-ranked fighters. So, when his fight against Canelo Alvarez was announced, the big question that filled public opinion was whether the natural heir to the throne would be able to continue his father's legacy or lose the right to become a champion to a commoner with the skill to claim the crown. Both Canelo and Chavez Jr. had traveled turbulent paths to earn the great opportunity to represent their country. Chavez Jr. began his career with strength, but his achievements were quickly tainted after he failed a doping test, which would have been his 41st victory. A scandal like this, in the noble art of boxing, casts doubt on your potential, requiring double the effort to regain even half the prestige you once held. Chavez Jr., victory after victory, rebuilt an important part of his career, even leading some critics to retract the harsh opinions they had expressed about him. But it wasn't enough. The son of a famous man who only took advantage of his father's legacy, as he was often referred to, still had much to prove. And just when he seemed to be on track to respect and glory, Sergio Maravilla Martinez appeared to deliver another harsh dose of reality. This world-class champion was hungry for a new title and did what was necessary to get it. After an intense fight that went the full 12 rounds, Martinez raised the belt.
He put so much weight off of him, his body's trying to get itself back.
He's not forcing Martinez back.
Hard right hand by Chávez. Good 1-2 by Chávez with the left hook to the body. Another left hook to the body. Hard right hand. Look at that. What a rally back by Martinez. Left. Plenty of time.
Oh, there you go. There he is. He's down.
Forcing Chavez Jr. once again to pick up the pieces and rebuild his career. But fate is fickle, and this time it presented him with another great challenge without even allowing him to catch his breath: Canelo Alvarez. With the chance for redemption within reach, Chavez Jr. knew that this fight was his last big opportunity to prove he was worthy of the legacy of his father, the legendary boxing Caesar. But there was one problem. Canelo was in his prime. According to experts, it would be the darkest night of the heir's career. Even so, Chavez Jr. stepped into the ring at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas to prove his worth to a crowd that awaited his demise. With Kenny Bayless as the third man in the ring, the bout took place. The fight round 1. With the sound of the bell, both fighters left their corners. Initially, it was a real feeling-out round. Circling around the center of the ring, the intensity and pace of the fight gradually began to increase. Both fighters' left hands battled for prominence while neither let their guard down. They seemed to be gathering enough information to engage more aggressively later on. This reflected the cunning and combat intelligence of both Aztec warriors.
You look at the muscle, he can be a full-fledged middleweight, a super middleweight.
Canelo Alvarez went off of a 5-0.
He looks filled out, obviously.
Round 2. Canelo left his corner with more energy. Now, his left hand was only the prelude to severe body combinations that pushed Chavez Jr. back. For his part, the heir threw a couple of his own combinations, though they lacked power. Midway through the round, he managed to press Canelo against the ropes, but without putting him at risk.
Jr. right there with him.
Jr. wants to get Alvarez along the ropes. This is where he does his...
Back at the center of the ring, the redhead gave him a clear display of skilled pugilism, forcing him to move to survive.
Off the ropes, but that's a dangerous game against a guy as big as
Canelo Stiff jab from Canelo, followed by over them. They're trying to drop
Body into it.
hook. Back to the body.
Round 3. Chavez Jr. left his corner with apprehension, evident in how he backed away without even attempting a close exchange. Canelo followed closely, throwing powerful body shots.
Not. And you see him, Doug, he's standing in front of us, yelling at him.
If you're going to move, it needs to be lateral movement. You need to circle him. And if there's an opportunity tonight for Chavez Jr. to take that position.
And there's some...
The redhead had clearly become the aggressor in the fight, and with just over 30 seconds left, he was momentarily pinned against the ropes and hit with a calm body combination. Back in the center of the ring, he used only his left hand to neutralize that offensive attempt he had fallen victim to.
It's a little bit puffy.
Now some blood from the nose.
Good shots from Jr. though.
Round 4. Chavez Jr. looked like a crab, taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Canelo, following him closely, pressured him with powerful body combinations, to which the air responded only occasionally.
Excellent cut man, working with Jr. for the first time. And he is a cut man that is used to working on some big shots.
Shots are not to Chavez's moment ago.
That one right there, popping up.
Midway through the round, the redhead cornered Chavez Jr. against the ropes, but he escaped to the sides.
Chavez can't rest on his laurels. He had a moment. He needs to press his advantage.
But no, uppercut landed from Canelo. Backing up again. And he won with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in Las Vegas.
These are very sharp and accurate punches. And when he puts those punches together...
By the end, it was clear who was the dominant gene and who was the recessive one in this match. Round 5. Canelo's left hand teased Chavez Jr.'s head from the sound of the bell. As the seconds passed, the heir to the throne seemed uninterested in counterattacking, let alone attacking. Moving backward in an oval path, he circled the ring repeatedly just to avoid facing the redhead. When he did face him, even briefly, his body was battered with combinations aimed at breaking his fighting spirit. At this point, his endurance was the only thing keeping him in the fight.
It's not working. Chavez Sr. probably...
His wife, who's giving more instruction than most of her corners. Body shot. Upstairs, Canelo. 1-2.
Round 6, Chavez Jr. already had a significant cut over his left eyelid, but he had to come out and act. During the 6th round, he only received more powerful punches. Out of every 10 punches, Chavez Jr. threw only 2 when he was feeling generous. Near the final minute, Canelo voluntarily leaned against the ropes and let the rich kid have his fun, just to prove he didn't have the strength to cause him serious harm.
Canelo on the ropes, just like you said, though.
Yeah, in the middle rounds, it's his habit to go to the ropes because he believes he can fight off. He's an excellent counterpuncher off the ropes.
Psychological game going on right now.
7th round. You have to fight now were the instructions Chavez Jr. received before leaving his corner. But once in the center of the ring, he was unable to follow them. Canelo increased the intensity of his offense, and Chavez Jr. paid the price. Suddenly, a right hook seemed to push the redhead against the ropes, where he stayed for a moment without being truly attacked.
Another... Canelo on the ropes.
When Canelo unleashed his power again, he brushed off the little tension the air had managed to put on him in the blink of an eye. For the rest of the round, Canelo made Chavez Jr. regret not neutralizing him when he had him against the ropes.
He's not listening. The speed, it appears, from Canelo is picking up. Jr., his speed...
8th round, Chavez Jr. kept stretching out his left hand and retreating as the 8th round began. Once more, Canelo leaned back against the ropes and allowed the air to attack him freely. But it turned out to be a narrow window. A simple left-right combination was enough to dispel any sense of danger that Chavez Jr. might have created. At this point, Canelo was like a predator toying with his prey before finishing it off.
Let's go out there and let's have fight. I'll fight towards cool head prevail. Let's make some money on this. Good job, Canelo. He did it.
9th round. You need to start with jabs. You need to get inside. You have to work him more, were the instructions Chavez Jr. received in his corner before going out for the 9th round. In theory, planning an attack is easy, but in practice, his efforts were weak, and even when Canelo was against the ropes, he couldn't subdue him.
I think he's punching very hard for a middleweight, but we have to understand that these guys are technically the natural super middleweight, and he's always had a really good chin.
He has that good chin.
Whenever Alvarez elects to go to the ropes, and I say elect because Chavez isn't pushing him to the ropes.
10th round. You need to go toe-to-toe with him, they demanded from Chavez Jr. in his corner, but whenever Canelo advanced, he only stepped back. The redhead had completely dominated the air, and claiming the crown was now just a formality. With powerful body combinations, he kept Chavez Jr. in constant agony, when it was expected that he would live up to his father's legacy. 11th round, he's stronger. You need to let loose, were the recommendations given to a Chavez Jr. who only wanted to survive on his feet for 6 more minutes. He stretched out his left hand just to reaffirm his posture as a fighter, but in reality, he wasn't fighting. Moving around the ring with Canelo following closely behind, the heir managed to reach the final round.
On 11. Respect him, more fan of his. For some reason, the last few years, in the country, how he's been fighting at different weight classes, or as he's open about the way he feels about things. Because I wasn't going to wait any longer for the opportunity. I'm here.
12th round, Canelo displayed true tricolor boxing skill by dominating Chavez Jr. until the last second. The heir tried to counterattack, but it was a fight he had already lost. Only a knockout could save him from defeat, but he didn't have enough power even to secure a knockdown. So he continued his retreat, moving to the sides until the bell put an end to his passive approach.
He hasn't hit anything tonight. I'm here. Canelo hasn't done this. He hasn't done that. And Alvarez throws the shutout. He has his hand.
Judge's decision. When the announcer returned to the center of the ring, he made official what everyone already knew. Canelo Alvarez defeated Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. by unanimous decision after 12 hard rounds of solid boxing, where he likely remained dominant for the last 11. Conclusion. If you've made it this far, thank you. Remember, the best way to support my content is by leaving a like on the video. At what point do you think Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. threw in the towel and handed victory to Canelo? Do you think the heir lives up to his father's legacy? I'll read your thoughts in the comments.